Hello, everyone. My name is Micah. I am the marketer and community manager for AK Titan, which encompasses the score machine and also M2 FICO Forge. Here we are with Ali, and also we have a special guest. He can introduce himself, but Ali, introduce yourself first, and then go to our special guest.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ali. I'm the owner and co-founder of the Score Machine and also M2 FICO Forge. I've been on multiple of these videos, and we go over any questions that Micah has from the community and try to answer them to the best of our knowledge.
Awesome. Uh, Eric, you wanna go?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect.
My name is Eric Taylor. I'm a GL owner as well and owner of Level X Solutions. I employ AI solutions for clients. And then I also, of course, provide funding solutions and try to help people in that regard as well. So got a couple things going on, and I've it's been a privilege to be mentored and helped by Ali, and I appreciate him having me on.
Yeah, well, we appreciate having you on, buddy. Thank you for coming on and sharing your wealth of knowledge that you have. And we can't wait to get into some of these questions and go over a couple of things. So, Micah, you're the question man. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you for coming. So first question is, what exactly is an AI employee and what can it do for my business?
Okay. So an AI employee is a lot like an employee that you would have at your job that can handle a multitude of things, whether that be um, conversations, reviews, content. In this case, we go to the next step, which we allow the AI is handling everything else, including chats, reviews, workflows, funnels, things that are in a CRM. It's basically just a huge, powerful suite of all the things that combine what a regular receptionist or person would do that's sitting at the desk handling a lot of the back end stuff, but a lot of maybe the computerized stuff that some of us have come accustomed to using.
Yeah.
So all these things are in one platform. So you don't have to go to multiple different places to try to piece all this stuff together.
Yeah. Does it take a lot of knowledge to like, well, once everything is set up, first of all, is it easy to set up? And second, is it hard to figure out like once you have everything set up?
Yeah, no, it's not hard to set up at all. It's a plug and play.
Hmm.
You trigger the AI in your agency settings. Um, Choose the channels that you want to use, whether you want to use calls, SMS, social, and then you can customize the automations via intuitive prompts or anything like that. Here's the nice thing about prompts.
Hmm.
Prompts means no coding.
Yep.
You don't have to be a coder to get in there to start utilizing the AI right away. That's the benefit of someone being able to come in and hop right in and just turn everything on and then use the prompts. The prompts are intuitive, so it's like having a conversation
Hmm.
when you're using prompts. Like, I need you to do this. So if you had a receptionist, you would be giving him or her prompts, right?
Hmm.
Like, they'd come in, you say, okay, this is what I want you to say. This is what I'd like you to do. This is who we are, and this is how I'd like you to communicate to our clients. That's what a prompt is.
Hmm.
And because it's so natural, it's not really any effort at all.
Oh, it's awesome. So, does it?
Micah, let me
Okay.
let me let me touch base on something. I love what Eric said over there. So Eric, let's dive a little deeper into that. So you said an AI employee is like a prompt. So basically, it's an SOP. You give the AI an SOP as a prompt, and then it will do the same thing as a legit employee. Is that where is that the real context of what you're saying? Like, dive a little deeper in like what sense, like what can it actually do?
So just like you would train any person for any industry, let's say that you're calling in, a customer is calling in, you have an SOP for someone calling in, right? You say, you have a script that you give the employee. Say this, do this, and if they say this, do this, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
If you run into a problem, do this.
Mm.
And if you can't handle it, then hand it off, and this person will take care of it. That's exactly what you would do with the AI employee, just like a real person. Someone would call in, you're giving the AI employee all of the prompt and scripting that you want it to handle. And of course, this is not a recording. This is a conversation that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the benefit of an AI employee. You're not calling like T-Mobile and it's just sounding like a robot and it's just giving you prompts and you're pressing buttons. No, you're actually going back and forth with the AI, just like you would anybody else, right? And you give it a script. If the customer says this, please do that, and it will do that. If you run into a problem, then hand it off. And that's the benefit about an AI, is that if it runs into a problem and it can't reach its goal, it can hand it off to you, the live person, or you can create something which is a little bit more complex and deeper, which we call a triage. What that means is that the AI can hand it off to another AI in another department. And then that AI can handle more complex situations. And what that does is that creates this seamless departments full of AIs that can handle different things that you have it tasked for. This is the future, where you'll have where when someone calls in, it'll be a triage of AIs handle it, and there'll be departments, and each one of these AIs will handle different things. So you might have a receptionist, but then you might have a vice president AI, for example. That vice president AI is tasked to handle those things, and you would train that person the same way. You want your VIP AI to handle, problem solve, maybe do some things a little extra to help the client. So that's what an AI employee is at every level, and that's kind of how it's utilized at the basic level, but with a little bit of options of being able to take it to another level too.
Yeah, it's cool.
Huh.
Does it actually get better over time? And let's say it can't answer a question. Could it learn the answer from like what you you give or you talk to the customer? Like
Yes.
okay.
There's two things. One, you could have it learn, and it does get better over time. The
Okay.
longer you have it, the better it gets.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you can go and review the responses, and then you can then customize and change and actually make it better.
Okay.
So, let's say you get some feedback. This is why feedback is really great from clients, from customers. Please give us your feedback, because the more feedback we get, the more we can train the AI, just like it would be if it was a real person. Let's say the real person that calls and you ask for feedback. Well, what happens? You have a training session, right?
Mm-hmm.
You sit down with the person, you say, hey, let's try this the next time. And what does that person do? Over time, they improve, they get better. And, 3 years down the road, now they can handle just about anything, any question, any circumstance. Same with the AI. You go back there, you look at how they're interacting with the audience and the people that are coming through, and you tweak it and you change it, you give it more prompts, you give it more problems, and it solves every problem that you need it to.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. I thank you for diving in for that, because I wanted to learn more about this whole thing with these AI employees and things like that. I think it's a fascinating business that's growing, business model that a lot of people, even a lot of influencers are getting into now. And it's crazy to see how somebody who has expertise behind it can actually utilize it for growth. This is great. This is great. I appreciate it. Micah, go with your next questions. I'm sorry. I like to talk.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Uh, does it save a lot of time compared to hiring a human staff?
Yeah, it actually saves a lot of time because, well, It's relative, right?
Hmm.
So let's say that your employee gets sick.
Hmm.
Well, you got to replace that person. So it's eating into the time that you got to spend to replace that person, finding another, you know, employee to fill that in, or you got to do it yourself. And if you have to do it yourself because that person is sick, well, then you just lost time and you're not spending money making money. You're doing other things. You're earning, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it kind of hurts all over the place when you don't have when you have just that one situation.
Hmm.
So the AA employee doesn't get sick
Yeah.
ever. And it can run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for as long as the life of the corporation.
Hmm.
So that's a game changer because now you're also not having to provide, L&I. You don't have to provide a 401k.
Yeah.
You don't have to do, there's all these things you don't have to do, which ultimately will save you a lot of time,
Yep.
right? Especially towards your bottom line. So yeah, it saves a lot of time because you're not dealing with a flesh and blood human being and all the imperfections that come along with having that. You have less of that. So now you're able to focus more of your energy on what you are trying to do, which is create revenue, and very little time having to worry about staff.
Hmm.
You might have, if because this is simple, you can do it yourself, but even if you had someone else doing that, they're only there to tweak and save you time with actually training the AI if need be.
Hmm.
But it's easy enough for you to be able to do it until you can scale your business to maybe hire someone to go back there and make those tweaks for you. So that's entirely up to you. So it is 100% a time saver.
I want to ask a question over here. Go off the go off the time limit because for a person like me, right? Two companies, the three companies actually technically.
Hmm.
Um, if I wanted to implement AI into my business, right? We have the printing company, we have the score machine, and the M2 FICO Forge, which credit repair. You have the credit funding software, and then the printing company. So all three of these companies, in your sentiment, say, I have a lights out guy that does sales for the printing company, but I want to add that style of sales, the way that he does it or whatever, into the FICO Forge and the score machine. Is that something that can be replicated? Is there like a prompt or a way that you set it up where it takes his mannerisms and what it is and creates him into an employee inside those businesses?
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the interesting thing about what you just mentioned. This is the worst it'll ever get. Even at this level, it's only going to get scarier and better,
Okay.
right? I mean, you're talking about like to the point where the AI will have nuances
Uh-huh.
that you give it, right?
Hmm.
But already there is a plethora of language styles, like voices,
Uh-huh.
women, men, um, different types of regions that they may come from.
Uh-huh.
And then don't forget that also you can have them in Spanish, right? So you have a whole Spanish speaking AI as well.
Uh-huh.
So to answer your question, you can absolutely do that. And if you want to, you can bring them together. A lot of companies will meld the two together until they're ready to go full blast because maybe during certain hours you want the human. Maybe only when the human is not around, then you want the AI to pick it up and take it from there. So you have the ability of sharing that responsibility until you migrate into maybe the AI handling it completely. And maybe that person that you had can now handle something else that you need them to do.
Okay. I gotta follow up. Trying to think of how to word it correctly. Um, Do you think in time the AI will replace the human?
It's possible, but it's really hard because the human has created the AI,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it doesn't prompt itself.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be told what to do. It needs someone to prompt it. So what you're really asking is that would there and it be an AI that will prompt the AI for its purposes, which goes on to a whole nother deep level. So I don't really think you'll ever replace the human, but I do believe that in most companies, eventually there won't be a building full of people in them.
That's what I was asking. That's what I meant. So taking it to a different level. Um, my sentiment is okay. I have 30 employees, right? Um, do you think eventually I will have one AI system instead of 30 employees and pay 1/10 of the cost that I pay in payroll?
That's happening now.
That's big.
That's happening now.
Do
People
me a
are
do me a favor. I just want you to repeat that one more time because let's be real. For people that are listening in, people that are, pulling us up on YouTube, any of that other stuff that they're, TikTok, whatever, wherever we're putting this, okay? I want you to put that ideology into them. Your job is scarce because of what? Please go back into that.
Your job is scarce because you're expensive and the AI is not. You cost, let's say you're an attorney's office. Do you know how much it costs for attorneys to have receptionists in their office?
Hmm.
A lot. Well, imagine you can already replace that person. That's a lot.
Hmm.
That's a lot for a firm. I mean, a high-end firm is going to be paying a receptionist six figures. You can replace that receptionist and what? You're gonna save a 66,000 to or higher at the base a year having an AI do that same job because you can give it everything. Legalese, you can train it to do every single thing, say every single thing. But here's the great thing is that well, this is not the great thing for people who are losing their jobs, but this is part of the reason why these people are getting replaced is because you cannot shake an AI.
Hmm.
And what I mean is that they have intent and they have a goal, and you can't make it angry. You can't get it off its square. You can't frustrate it. You can't do anything to that AI at all. Its entire goal has no feeling. So it's going to reach its goal, whether that be to schedule an appointment, to get information, or whatever it's designed to do, it's going to do that. And it's not new. This has been going on for a very, very long time. That AI has been gathering data and information. You know how it is. You call up, you're trying to get to a live person, but the goal of the AI is to make sure that it can solve that problem before you talk to a soul.
Hmm.
And how often did they reach their goal? Quite often, and it makes a lot of people mad.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to become normal. Talking with AI, most people don't even, it's getting so good that most people don't even know they're talking with one.
Hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I know we got off a couple of the cuff of the questions, Micah, but I just the door opens as people speak. Sometimes we have some questions that we want to go off of, but there's more that you can dive into in a topic that is fascinating. I find this. I got to be honest with you. Our YouTube channel is blown up based upon AI content alone because people want to find out about it, and it's awesome just to hear somebody speak in depth about it from a proper standpoint. Yeah, I could talk about AI, but I don't have the level of expertise that you have, and my level of expertise is nominal compared to yours. and it's great to have somebody on the show and in the sentiment talking with us that understands it. Um, Micah, before we get back to questions,
Mhm.
I want to talk to Eric about something a little off the cusp over here. Um, Talking about an AI that you have that is beneficial to the masses. We both have the same AI,
Mhm.
so let's open up the door into the RM2 softwares and start talking about a little bit of the AI of credit repair and the benefits of the AI of credit repair. Plug your software right now, and then I'll ask a couple of questions on the AI of credit repair. And we'll come back about the company over here. Plug your software M2 com- Commander
Cormata. Yeah, it's
Cormata. There we go.
yeah, into Cormata, and it's a Cormada. That's M2 Cormata, and yeah, again, AI again saving time. I mean, that's really what it is. It's like it's taking, what used to be where, you had to spend hours, you know, crafting a letter, response, or even educating yourself, right? And understanding all the rules and all the laws. So for you to be good, it would take you a couple years. You could start right away, but it would take you a couple years to be good at it.
Uh huh.
It would take you 5 years to be great at it.
Mhm.
Uh huh.
AI basically says, I'll be great for you. You
Mhm.
just go do something else, right?
I love it. I love it. That's the truth, man. Our softwares have turned the industry upside down in the sentiment of how we do AI, and our softwares do something fantastic. Like I love how you put it. Our softwares break down credit reports and letters into about what when I timed it, it was like 4 minutes in
Mhm.
total.
Yeah.
And in that case, it's a fantastic thing to see that we were able to help somebody and help a whole industry in a matter of 4 minutes with AI. So, bringing that up and having that conversation with you, like, what caused you to want to get on the boat? Let me ask you that on the M2 boat.
Okay, so this is kind of crazy. So, um, my business partners, we were looking at how could we create or help people address their most important asset, right? We spend a lot of time with investing, learning trading, and trying to figure out, looking at assets as a whole. And believe it or not, most people haven't thought about it this way, but your credit profile is an asset.
Mhm.
And so we kind of were in this asset mindset. And my colleague brought the information to me. He said, "Look, you need to take a look at this." His name is King Richard, and he said, "Hey, Eric, look at this thing. Check it out." And I'm like, I saw it when my first glance at it. It looked hokey. To be honest, I was like, okay, here's this other thing. But when I started really looking at it, because I understood technology and AI and where we're going, and I saw what it was going to do, I was like, hold up, wait a minute, there's something to this. And Miss Carla, another business partner of mine, I said, Miss Carla, you gotta look at this. You gotta go find this. I think this is something going on here this is legit. Like, this will save a lot of time, and this will help us, you know what I mean, reach our goal of helping people address this asset
Mhm.
and get it in a more efficient, do it more efficiently. Really, that's what it's down to, because they're you have to create your own system. Like, literally, you have to do your own mailing. You got to put a whole program together to make that what M2 does. You gotta you know I just couldn't believe it. It saved. Not, I'm all about saving time, because time is money. Like, the more time that you can save, the better. And M2 software does that.
Mhm.
I mean, it absolutely just saves you a ton of time. And we went and tested it out to see, okay, well, that's the next move. Let's see if it even works. And it does. And it did. And we were like, okay, let's rock.
I remember those days, those testing days.
Yeah.
those were good testing days. um, so after you got on the software, no, you got your own GL, came in. You were a big boy, came into the big boys club. You know, welcome. Always gonna tell you welcome. I think I was the first one to say, "Hey, buddy, how you doing, ET?"
You were. Yeah, absolutely.
um, After that, how did you incorporate your AI company that you're utilizing now that we were speaking about, your AI employee, with your credit repair business? And I think that, we want to tie this all back to, everything that we do, because look, at the end of the day, credit repair, business funding, personal funding, AI employees, all that stuff has got to be tied back.
Hmm.
One business has got to feed the other. So at the end of the day, how did you tie it back to the other company?
When I was learning about the software and the M2, but just before that, and this is where I actually came up with the solution. Because everybody knows that ideas are born out of problems,
Hmm.
right? There's a problem and you're just like, there's got to be a better way, and then boom. So I had called another company prior to all this who provided funding.
Hmm.
And I went through the process of calling them and getting funding through another company. But I couldn't get a hold of the guy.
Yeah.
And when I finally got a hold of him, he was telling me the problems that he was having being on the road, flying and trying to, contact, get back with people. And I thought, well, that's took you 4 days, 3 days to like get back to me. Like that's no good. And I definitely don't want you handling my funding. And so I'm like, if you're going to take this long, I mean, I'm all about time, efficiency, and I don't want it to want to feel like I'm on the back burner and I don't know what's going on. Like, so I was like, I could solve your problem. I told him right then and there that, you want to get with me later down the road, I could help you maybe solve this, because he wanted to bring me on as on his team. Right. Because I had been speaking with some people in that field and some of his partners, and they wanted to bring me on. And I was like, ooh, I would much rather have an AI do it. I don't really want to do that job.
Hmm.
I don't want to be answering the phones and doing basic administrative things that
Mundane,
an AI can do.
mundane tasks is what I call it.
Mundane tasks. So there you have it. Handling the things that I, first of all, can't afford to pay a person to do. Right. And that's where this really fits in. A lot of people have part-time jobs or full-time jobs, and they are trying to do this, and but they need it to run in the background. They need someone to be answering the phone. They need someone to be answering the emails. They need someone to be carrying on these conversations and scheduling these appointments around their schedule.
Hmm.
Well, who's going to do that for them? Because they certainly can't hire someone to do it. So what happens is that little hole right there is a loss of revenue, which people don't really realize. That if you set up a website and someone comes there and visits and you're not engaging immediately, well, how much is a funding client?
Hmm.
High five figures, almost. Yeah, high five figures.
Yeah.
You look at demand business funding, could be 20, 30, 40,000.
Okay. So you look at that, that's out the window
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't engage with them right away. They didn't click on your chat bot. you know what I mean, or a chat widget. They didn't call, so they're not conversating. They're not, the AI is not scheduling you an appointment. It's not keeping them in the conversation. It's not taking their information. It's not doing all the things that you would need like a person to do that could cost you 20, 30 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to lose that 20, 30 grand. That's why you need an AI employee.
There you go.
It's a no-brainer. You're basically filling a hole, a gap. And I'm a busy person. I don't have the time to onboard a new client who'd like my services. But I certainly can have an AI answer the phone and talk to them and take all the information I need them to do with the goal of scheduling an appointment on a day that I know I'm going to be home. I make my 30 grand. I work my full-time job. Everybody's happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it kind of saves you two ways. You have the cost of losing a customer, but also the cost of hiring an employee too. So what is the cost of the AI compared to having like a whole team?
So yeah, right.
Hmm.
Which we touched a little bit on that earlier, where
Yeah.
I gave that example of a receptionist for a law firm,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Well, you're talking maybe $11,000 a year versus $66,000 a year
Hmm.
or more.
Okay.
Right, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. You,
And
you
that's not even equating that the receptionist is taking a call that could potentially earn you another
hmm
30 or 60.
Yep.
So you can see the cost difference there. Just, yeah, it's much cheaper. An $11,000 employee a year, sign me up. Anybody would take that.
Hmm. How many employees would you need for like each like prompting each AI or like refining each AI?
You'd probably need one or two.
Okay. That's yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like
Hmm.
I said, it's actually not difficult. The system is designed for really you to be able to learn it
Hmm.
and run it. But even if you had just one person back there just checking it on a regular basis and setting them all up,
Hmm.
one or two people could do that very easily, no problem, and just check it and build it, and then maybe even hand it off to you. And it's entirely up to you,
Yep.
how you want to do it. And of course, the more revenue you create, right? Because people that make a lot of money and make a lot of revenue, they want people to do things for them
Yeah.
because they want to spend their time with their family and their kids.
Hmm.
So it's like, how many people does it take to run an Apple company? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He's busy doing what he wants to do and the company runs itself and he needs that, right?
Hmm.
So it's whatever you need as a business owner to live your life to be free, to be freed up, whatever that costs. And even if it's an AI as opposed to a person and you need 3 people to run it, it's still going to be cheaper
Hmm. Yeah.
in the long run,
Hmm. Is what you're offering, is it better than using multiple AI tools? Because you're putting all like it all into one solution, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is better
Yeah.
if that's what you're asking.
Yep. Okay. Great. Is it easy to integrate, or does it like
Yes.
a while, but it's because I mean training all the AI on like your business data, I don't know how long that would take, but you'd have to gather it, train it. So I don't know how long that would take to integrate. Is it just one time setup or
Yeah, it's not hard to integrate. It's pretty much a one-time setup. You get in, it's a plug and play. You get in, you set it up once, and the only thing that you're doing ongoing is training.
okay.
So you got to go back there and you got to keep training it so that it can get better,
Hmm.
right? Review the interactions and then refine it. So it's pretty much that. go through a few steps, and then there off you go.
So, do you have to manually go through all the interactions to see if the AI is not giving out like weird information or false information? Or do you have
Yeah,
an
you
AI
want
that
to
could check?
yeah, you want to go through there and just double check. But
Mhm.
once you set it up once,
Yep.
it's not like you got to keep doing that,
Okay.
addressing that.
Okay.
That's the one thing about an AI versus a person. A person can keep making mistakes,
Hmm.
where an AI, you address it, you fix it. It's not going to make the same mistake over and over again.
Hmm. Is the AI, okay, let's say not just when you talk on the phone to it, but when you are reading like an email, is it AI sounding or human sounding? Because sometimes I feel like
Yeah,
people could get turned off if it sounds too much like an AI.
and people do get turned off
Hmm.
when it does sound a little bit like an AI. People can definitely go and test it and hear it out for themselves, but that is something that you can improve because you can change pacing,
Hmm. Okay.
like how it's having the conversation.
Hmm.
But as you refine it, the goal is that people won't be able to tell that they're talking to an AI.
Hmm. From what you're seeing, do like companies you work with, do they get a lot of complaints that it sounds like AI, or does it like a lot of people really like it?
No, people complain. People do complain,
Okay. Okay.
especially
Yeah.
yeah. They complain in the beginning, but
Hmm.
that's what you want. You
Okay.
actually do want complaints, and the
Okay.
reason why is because that's natural feedback.
Hmm. Yeah, then you
That's
just get
natural
it better.
feedback.
Yeah, get it even better.
Yeah, you want that. You want some of that interaction. What are they not liking? Because each industry is a little bit different.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Depending on where you're using it
Hmm.
and what you want it to, how you want it to conversate.
Hmm.
And so people will complain. And again, it'll get better. So you'll get complaints for different things, and it won't be the voice.
Hmm.
But yeah, you just keep training it and you make it better. They sound fantastic,
Hmm.
really, in all honesty, especially even at this stage of the game. And there are people much more, smarter than me,
Hmm.
and have much more expertise than I do that can make these sound really ridiculous
Hmm.
with a little bit of extra stuff. So you can take it to as many levels as that you want to, as far as naturalness is concerned. But the AI is right that it is right now out of the box. The naturalness is there,
Hmm.
and then if people do complain about little things, then that's what you go back there, you tweak it, and you change it, and you make it better.
Yeah. Do you think, as a business owner, do you think AI could like hurt my reputation?
No,
Okay.
I don't think it can hurt your reputation because everyone is using AI to improve their reputations.
Hmm.
Uh, Reputation is if you don't pick up your phone, you now have a bad reputation,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
Because that's what everyone's gonna. You go and this person didn't pick up their phone. They didn't answer their phone. They never answer their phone. Your reputation is down the toilet, and AI had nothing to do with it. It was just you just didn't do it.
Hmm.
But if you have AI, at the very least, your phone will be answered,
Yep.
right? And it will begin, and then it starts the engagement process. Most content creators and most people have understood that if they want to be scored high on Google, they must engage
Mm.
because people don't want to be waiting around.
Yeah.
If you want someone to come fix your roof,
Yeah.
how long do you want to wait before you go to someplace else, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
You want an instant response. You want your roof to get fixed. You want to have a good experience, and then on the back end, once your job is done, well, then you want to be able to get the person that you want that review,
Hmm.
which is also AI, right?
Hmm.
So the AI then goes and captures the review for you. It helps you, post those reviews on your social medias. All that is AI help, and therefore AI helps you with your reputation because it helps automate a lot of the things that you just don't have time to go do on your own because you're busy. You're a busy professional. You don't have time to answer every single review that comes through. You could imagine someone like Ali probably has tons of people that want to come through and give a review, but could you imagine if Ali had to do that for every single one?
Yeah, take a while.
I'm not stealing your thunder right now. I'm gonna let you rock.
Yeah, man. So automations people shouldn't confuse that AI does everything. That's what automation is, right? An automated business is an AI business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me let's come off the script a little bit. Let's come off the question. I love where you just said that. Okay. The best businessmen have taught younger entrepreneurs such as ourselves, okay? Business should run as a machine. How does this help to run a business like a machine?
Yes. So entrepreneurs that teach their pupils to run it smoothly is to create an assembly line. And so when you create an assembly line and then you duplicate that assembly line, now you have automated and created an efficient business. But you got to create the assembly line. So if you think about it this way, you have a phone that goes through the assembly line before it gets to the person's hand, right? So they put their order in, and now they're going to assemble the phone, put the screen on, put the guts on, dress it up, put it in the box, package the box, deliver the box. That's an assembly line. So if you think of it that way, every client that comes through should have that experience for if you have a business, you have a place for them to go, you have a place for them to get the product, you have a place for them to use the product, and then that product gives them the result that they're looking for. And so you're creating that assembly line experience for the customer, but you don't actually have to do it. You've created, instead of you doing all the departments yourself, you've now automated that process. Because usually when people start going to a business itself, they're doing the mailing, they're doing the boxing, they're assembling the product, right? But as soon as you go hire a person to do that job, you've automated one job that you don't have to do. They're boxing it.
Hire yourself out of your position type.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And eventually you're not doing anything. Now you have someone who's doing every single step of that process. And all you're doing is just basically maintenance, right? You're just kind of overseeing, making sure that things are run smoothly and correctly. And those businesses are very, very valuable. Though that's when you get to the point where now you're getting to circles where businesses now want to come and buy your machine. It's a working machine. People don't want to go recreate or to buy a machine or a business that they got to recreate. They just want to rebrand it. Everything is already working. That's why they're attracted to it, because you've come with an automated system for your business that works well, that generates revenue, and that's attractive to an investor, and they'll come and buy it and swoop it up and take it.
Want to go over here. I want to tie this back to what our audience usually looks at. So, our audience is credit repair and funding. So, as much as the AI is great for any business, because we've already touched base on that, let's touch this back based on credit repair and funding, and let's go on the funding aspect, because a lot of people are, that's where the money is, right? And I know you say you own a funding company, so your AI employee if you were building your assembly line, what does the AI employee look like in your assembly line for a funding company? That's a big question for me because I mean, don't forget we have the score machine. That's all AI based, and we'll get. Yeah, I know you're one of our top member. You're one of our top members, so I'll get my roses in a couple of minutes, but I want to keep giving you the floor over here in the sentiment of when creating a funding company, just using the AI services before you get to the score machine, before you get to these certain places, how does that start the build of your machine for funding?
So the very, very first thing, right, is your channels, right? Because you gotta figure out where am I gonna go and get the people.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I have identified the person, what is gonna happen? So the goal is to get an appointment because we want to have that one-on-one conversation. You want to try to marry the high tech and the high touch together.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be so completely high tech because this is an industry where you do need to talk to folks.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't, you really shouldn't try to go 100% automation. So at least my goal is to automate enough of it to where I can have a conversation. But when I'm going into that conversation, the client already has their My Free Score Now already up.
Mm-hmm.
I've already had the IA send them a link to go sign up for that. So what'll happen is they call in. This is just a scenario. They call in, they have a conversation with my AI employee. The AI employee gathers all the information that I want and then asks a few other questions to kind of find out what their goals are.
Mm-hmm.
And then what it says, I've given it the prompt for the goal. Let's say one of the goals is they want funding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the AI will say, okay, well, no problem. Let me do this. I'm going to put you in touch with Eric. He's going to call you within 72 hours. But before he calls you, we need you to go sign up for the My Free Score Now. I'm going to send you the link. You should be getting it. It's going to pop up on your phone. The link to the My Free Score Now will pop up on their phone. The AI employee will give them instructions to go and sign up for that service.
Uh-huh.
Then when I get home, let's say I'm just gone, I come home, I'll go into my thing. I'll have a new client and I'll see that they've been assigned this. I'll go into the back end and I'll see that they've signed up for My Free Score Now and I'll review it. Once I put my hands on it, I review it to find out if they're fundable. And with the help of the score machine, I'll be able to do that more efficiently than I would have been able to do that before. I'll be able to find out right then and there if they are or if they're not. And then I'll call them up and I'll say, hey, I take a look at your report. This is what's going on based upon what I can see. And then I will either get them, go through the process of getting them funding, or I will give them to another department that will handle the part that the cleanup, right? That they need, the cleanup that they need. And then once the cleanup is done, those agents will hand that client back to me so that I can finish the funding process.
Mm.
Can you build me one of these? So let's go. Let's. I got a question for you. I'm sorry, Micah. I know you're the question man, but he's literally, when the mind starts running, it starts running fast. Yeah. So I love the whole part where you take it to qualify the client. Now, you send them the key. You send them the My Free Score Now. I have a question for you, and I guess we'll segue into the score machine with this question. Why don't you send them the onboarding link for the score machine as well? So now they can onboard themselves there. So all you need is that link, plug it in, and boom, you're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Could do that.
And
The only reason why I didn't think of that was because I'm going to go into the score machine and I'm going to pull in that report and take a look at it.
Mm.
but I'm saying, like, you have your onboarding link that's there. You could send that she already fills out her information, and all you got to do is import credit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it. That would be even better.
That's running that AI piece that we were talking about.
Yeah,
And beautiful way to segue into the score machine. Like I love.
that'd be beautiful. You could do that.
So we did create that onboarding link for this. I wanted to create a machine with the score machine, hence the name machine. The way that we structured it was that you have to do the least amount of work possible, and we keep doing that purposefully because exactly what you said. If you're sending out a link to your client on the phone, you could send out, okay, 30 minutes later, you should be able to send out a score machine link, which is a prompt that you just put in, and say, okay, we hope that you're finished with the my free score now. Get into the score machine type of thing, right? Now you've got them already. So when you get home, you just look at the score machine, hit import credit, and you're ready to rock and roll.
Mm.
30 seconds later, you've got everything in front of you. And now you're ready for that phone call that you're about to make, whether they need to have cleanup done, as you so nicely put it, or they can start to get into funding. So I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a little straightforward over here. What do you think of the software?
Yeah. I mean, the more and more that I'm in there and I'm seeing what's going on, the more that I'm learning on it and the more mentorship that I've been getting from you on it, I'm really seeing how redundant some other things can be
Mm.
because I'm all about eliminating redundancies. And that's what this I'm starting to see with the score machine is like eliminating a lot of redundancies. And I love that.
You know, the developmental process that came into developing the scoring machine with the AI and everything and machine learning, because we do both AI and machine learning, came in to better the cleanup process. Because what people don't understand is it's the before and after software. It's not a during software. And that's what M2 is for. That's why we both have our own M2s, because you need that during software. You need someplace else, like you say, another compartment that you could send something off to. I want to be the funding expert. I don't make money on credit repair. And I think you agree with this sentiment. I don't make money on credit repair. I make money on funding. So why do I want to look like a credit repair expert when I'm truly a funding expert?
Mhm.
And I built a machine just for funding, because now it takes away everything. Because look, I could talk to you and be like, look, this is great, everything over here, but my software says that you need to go into credit repair. Do me a favor, click the link. I'm gonna send you the link to get into the credit repair software. Go in and start attack. There's a way that you can follow. You giving your walkthroughs, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, you're making it easier on yourself that you stay in your lane of expertise. And would you agree with that sentiment?
Yes, I do 100% because, well, that's where the money is, right? When you're looking at where you should be, you're looking to see, well, where is the revenue? It's not in credit repair. Not really. Um, and you're trying to niche down to a profession, and being a funding professional um has its own power, and that opens up so many more doors by being someone who's a funding professional, because now you're looking at industries, leaders of industries who want to talk to you about their clientele, because their whole business is about generating or having clients come in and buy their, have access to their products and services. And most of those people require more than just cleanup. Because when you really truly understand, like what I've learned from you about a funding profile, it's not just, oh, I just need a better score. Because literally anybody can improve their score by accident.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're not educated, you'd be like, well, I can't believe it. I got a good score, and now I'm gonna go and try to get a loan for this, boat. And then you leave out there embarrassed, thinking, well, man, I have a 780 credit score. I should be able to get funding for this boat. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so guess what? The dealership of the boating industry is like, why are these people not qualifying? Because they're not funding people. They're boat salesmen and they own boat companies. They know that certain people will score high, and they have underwriters. You know what I mean? You know that world. But there are some people that don't know. And so they're going to go look for funding professionals to help them turn those numbers and increase those numbers. And they're looking for experts. They're looking for people who truly understand what a funding person's supposed to look like, what a file is supposed to look like, and how to and educate people, because that's where the real failure is that people aren't being taught what this is supposed to be like. Right? Mm-hmm. And this is not going to be like it's not always going to be a 1-month process. Crafting a profile takes time, but if you're dealing with a professional, you're going to get what you ask for. So that's why I don't really see a lose. That's why I think that being a funding professional is where it's at, and the return is higher. But so is the investment in crafting the profile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what investment is there that is not the same investment as credit repair?
That's a good question. Micah?
Damn, I haven't taught you that one yet. Okay. So I'll answer my own question. The investment for funding versus the investment for credit repair is actually about the same. Because it's understanding the file itself. Credit repair is the actual causality of what the effect is of not paying your bills.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a cause and effect, right? So the cause of needing credit repair is because effectively you didn't pay your bills. That's what it breaks down to. But to do credit repair, right, requires a software.
Mm-hmm.
And we both know that very well. What the cost of the software is the same thing. The same thing goes for funding, especially now since I created it. Okay, you need a software. You need a software to be able to do the work for you. What better than to have an AI software in both sentiments for funding and for credit repair? So now we've built two, when I say we, because we definitely have, we built two softwares that have two AI machines fully built into it that allows you to go and build your business while the software handles the rest. I mean, the only other thing that we can do, God's honest truth, is literally teach the software how to run a file every 30 days, regardless if the client pays or not. And that, if we did that, there is no human credit repair anymore. It is legitimately, excuse me, it is legitimately just computers. So now it's who's got a better computer, you or Oscar? And the same thing goes for funding. Who's got a better computer, you or the bank? Knowing what needs to be done, knowing the intricacies, knowing everything that goes about it is what changes it. But exactly like you said, I don't want to be known as the credit repair guy. I want to be known as the funding guy because it opens up a whole lot more doors. Yes, I have a team that does credit repair. I don't do credit repair anymore. I don't want to touch credit repair. I own a software. I'm a software owner. I'm a SaaS owner. I want to be a SaaS owner. I do not want to be a credit repair specialist or a funding specialist. Truth and fact of the matter. I want to own the softwares that do it. And I know that goes to the same sentiment of you, because you've been beta testing the score machine since it came out in January. And let me ask you this question. Now that I answered my own, let me ask you this question. Since January until now, what have you seen? Because I know you're the first testimonial that we ever got.
Yeah. I have seen it really allow me to have better professional conversations. And I'm not guessing or have that sensation of guessing, because now I know exactly what I'm attacking, and I'm able to actually give the clients it's not like I wasn't able to give them a plan before, but to give them a plan with a finality to it is so much different than just giving them just sort of this plan of like approximates. Like without the score machine, you're talking about approximately, kind of, might take. That's the wording you end up using. But with this machine, I'm saying, look, I can have a conversation with the client. Say I'm gonna look and find out exactly what's going on so that you're not wasting your time, my time, or your money. Because what you might be told by someone who's a credit repair person might be the wrong thing. You might just need to take the money that you would give them. It could be 5-10 grand or whatever it is you're going to pay this person to fix your thing, but you could keep that and just fix your utilization. That is so powerful to tell a client, take your hard-earned money, go fix your utilization, come back to me, and then I'll get you funded.
Oh, that's powerful. That gave me that gave me chills up and down my spine. That gave me chills up and down my spine. Because let's be real, I'm gonna say this to you without you going forward. Our AI credit repair software just tells you when you have a negative. Doesn't tell you exactly what's going on with the file. So the credit repair software is good for one thing: credit repair when credit repair is needed. But what does a credit repair software do? It always looks for credit repair. But what happens if you have a utilization issue and not a credit repair issue? Well, the credit repair software is just going to tell you, oh, everything's okay on my end. So everybody thinks, oh, everything's good on my end, until you actually do an analytical dive and find out that, your utilization, you're 90% utilized on one card or two cards or whatever, and you need to pay that utilization down, which is absolutely crazy that you even bring that up, because that is the truth. That is the truth. It's scary. It's scary when somebody actually says it, because it's like, that's what I built that for. That's what I spent countless hours perfecting, was the underwriting sheet. So, damn, man, appreciate that.
And it brings finality to it.
And that AI is so powerful, it's not even funny. And the breakdown of the AI is so powerful. It's like you said, it brings finality to not credit repair, but to the profile on a high level basis.
Oh yeah,
And it's huge what that does for us.
because you might get a client that's trying to get a house, right? So the real estate person calls you up because you're the funding guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're the funding professional, right? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I got this person. I don't know what's going on. They're trying to get a house. I say, okay, I'll take a look. Put them in the score machine. I say, do this. They do this and take care of it in short order. They should be able to get whatever they need, to qualify for that house. Just that information alone can give you revenue. Just having the be able to have the information
Uh-huh.
that people can create. You can be just a consultant, like, and have a consultant fee of a couple $1,000s, just so that the real estate agent just doesn't have anybody to go to find out exactly what that is. They call you up, they pay you, they give you a referral fee. You give them the answer that they need, and the person gets funded. Everybody wins. The agent wins, you win, the person gets their house. I mean, that's
I,
on a small level how powerful the score machine is.
I I love that you just brought that in, that specific, you know, scenario up, because I was thinking about that to a level of extent myself. Is where does this, and we'll tie it back to the AI program. We'll get a couple more questions in, and then we'll close it out, because I know you're a busy man. You don't wanna stay here talking to us all day. Um, but when you're tying it to a business, what businesses do you see where the score machine and your AI client can work well together? To your AI employee, excuse me, not client, AI employee can work well together to really ramp their business up because of analytics.
It's a good question. Um, yeah, yeah, that's once you, yeah, no, that's really good, because once you marry those together, that's it. I mean, really, in all honesty, like that's like the ultimate efficiency.
I
You marry those two together, which I don't even think, and I'll be thinking about it all day. I don't think that would take much. Now, it might take the right person, the right next level person to bring that up and be like, "Hey, I'm trying to do this." So this is when you're talking about collaborating, right? Because it's the more people that collaborate, the more things that you get done,
uh-huh.
and you get them done quickly. Because there's more than just the three of us in this room. There are some really smart people out there,
Mhm.
and they're gonna, and that once they see, what we're talking about, with the, with the short order, someone's probably going to be working on it.
I mean, absolutely, and I'm all for it, and I hope that somebody comes up to me and be like, "I want to do this with the score machine." So, and I want them to get with you as well, and AI employees. Like for me personally, I think that every industry that deals with credit is huge. Even an insurance broker, like people don't even think about that. They're like insurance, right? AI employee gets the person to the broker themselves, right? Score machine qualifies the person because you don't want a person to have the lowest rate. Let's be real, because they get paid on the risk assessment of the employee.
Mm.
Think about that. So if you got a 500 credit score employee, you got a risk assessment of 10,000, right? Or if you have an 800 credit score employee, not employee, person, client, and your risk assessment is 2, which one do you want the best? You want the 800 employee, the 800 client. So there's a lot of things that this ties into, and we have to see and press the people that are out there, um, and go from there. Like I totally love it. I have one more thing, and then Micah, you could take questions back over, because I know I've been
Good.
uh I've been taking the mic over here a little much, but I love talking to ET. Me and ET go for like 2-3 hours on
Yeah.
our our private conversation. So this is like a private conversation that's been being recorded.
I know it does feel like that.
Um, let's talk about how we met because I want to touch on that collaboration, collaboration over competition. I mean, all of our mentors talk about it. So let's touch about it and let's touch how we got into play. How did you meet me? Um, what attracted you towards me, and vice versa with the attraction towards towards us. So I'll let you go first, and then I'll come back and I'll talk with you.
I'm always attracted to people who are transparent. You know, they're not hiding anything. They're sharing everything that they know. They want people to be successful. And they're sharing their knowledge. And that's something that I think most people could say about you, just looking at your videos. There isn't like some ambiguity surrounding you and the people that you're around. And you know it right away when you say, I didn't know that, or why didn't this person teach me that? Or like why they leave that out, or why is it so hard to find? Right? There are very few people out there that are willing to share the wealth and truly collaborate and be transparent. But the people who are doing really well, especially content creators who have services and stuff like that, the ones that are doing good, they're transparent. They're transparent. They're saying this is how you do whatever you're doing. If you don't have time to do it, then we'll do that for you. And that's kind of what's in this industry. You have like these done for you, done with you sort of services where it's like, hey, if you want to take this on and learn how to do it, I'll show you how to do it. But if you don't have time, sure, I'll take your money. I'll do it for you. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna help the person. You're not gonna like force them into a corner and make them come in and use you. That's the difference. So that's why I've appreciated, and that's why I was attracted to you and your group.
Well, how did you get into the group? How did you find me?
I found you because you handle the mailing. And
Mm.
actually, you and I had a conversation when I very first started with the software, though I wasn't in, you got on with me with mailing. I actually spoke to you
Oh,
one-on-one a
yeah.
long time ago.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow.
I told myself that one day I'm gonna tell Ali that we had a conversation. He didn't even know how it was. But yeah, you and I you and
Dang.
I spoke. You told me about the mailing, and you were very upfront and showing me what I need to do and why the mailing service was important, and why not why I needed to do certain things. And you and I had a conversation then. And then I went ahead and used the service. So your mail service is a part of all of the businesses of the metro too. Like it's the standard, right? So that's how I come to meet you first of all, and then I came across you again, and I think it's because you had content, and I was asking questions, and I realized that there was something I was missing. And then we actually end up talking. You and I ended up having a conversation. I called you, hopped on the phone with me. Before I was really got to know your community and become a part of your community, you hopped on the phone with me. And I thought, man, this guy's hopping on the phone with me and spending all this time with me and educating me and showing me like what the software really does. And once you told me that, I was like, yeah, I'm like, can I get out of this? I want to move. I want to move mentorship. I want to move everything I got. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do everything this guy tells me to do because it just makes sense. You know what I mean? And I appreciated the honesty and the everything that you brought, the transparency and the no ambiguity. None of that was there, and you were willing to share. And I like collaborating. That's what collaboration at the heart of it. That's what collaboration. Everyone's helping each other reach the same goal. We all want to, create a legacy for our businesses, and maybe eventually exit our businesses and then ride off into the sunset.
I mean, I remember. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember the first conversation we had. I remember the second conversation we had, and I remember you came in and you're like, "I love the community and I love what you're doing," and just the knowledge you drop. I think you joined one of the masterminds, and you were like, "Dude, you're just doing it." And here's the thing: I didn't get to the level that I'm at because I held anything back. I left it all on the table. There's always the sentiment of a hockey player is leave it all on the ice. You go out every 45 seconds, leave it all on the ice. Don't come back at the end of your shift and say, "Oh, I could have just did a little more. I could have skated a little harder. I could have did this." So that's how I do my life. That's how I go about it in my life. I leave it all on the table. Once I'm done, I'm done. I can't say I don't have any regret of how I handled anything, how I do anything with anybody, because I did it the best that I possibly could. And every time that I have a conversation with a smile on my face, because the person that's calling you is actually going through a problem. And whatever their problem may be, they're calling you because you may have a solve for it. And I remember you were going through it and you were just having a hard time going through the software. And you were like, "I don't get it. Why is it not working?" I was like, "Come join us on a Friday. You're going to see what the reasoning is." And once I started doing those Friday calls started blowing up because exactly what you said. I left it all on the table. There is no ambiguity. Once I'm completed, once it's done, you're like, "Holy crap, there's 4 AIs in that damn software?" And it changes the sentiment of it, and that's kind of where we were at and kind of where we wanted to be. So I remember that first phone call with you, and then I remember you coming over and hanging out with us and growing your own software, which was I was so happy when you got your own software. And I was like, and again, because there's no competition, guys. Competition is for the poor. It's not for the rich. Okay, the rich want to see everybody succeed because that's somebody I could go to and say, "Hey, ET, I'm having a problem in my business doing X, Y, and Z. Can you help me solve? Can you help me solve this problem?" And if you go to somebody that has a poor mindset, the guy with the poor mindset is going to truly not help you. But somebody who has a richer mindset is going to be like, "Yeah, I got you, bro. Let me come over there. I'll tweak this. I'll do this. I'll do that. And we'll get it back. We'll get it back up and running." Because here's the thing. Nobody wants to be rich alone. They want to be rich together. Like, people don't understand that sentiment. I don't want to be rich alone. I don't want to be living in the house by myself. I don't want to be living in the block by myself. I don't want to be in a place that nobody else is there. I want to be in a place with a bunch of other people. Okay? A bunch of other people that are like-minded, that are go-getters, that will attack, that'll do what needs to be done with the people around me. So if you leave everything on the table, right? What happens? I've just taught a bunch of other people how to do what I do. And now, what do they do for me? They come back. ET's a number. He prints with me all the time. All his people print with me. Why? Why is he printing with me? Because he knows the quality is good. He was the number one beta tester for the score machine. He was signed up to FICO Forge until he got his own software. So, and then he printed with us. That's 3 products that I own that he's been involved in all 3 of them. So remembering a person and bringing somebody up in here to have a conversation with us is because we want to help him get to his next level. We want to help push him to the next level. And that's why I say it's collaboration over competition. It truly is. And that's why I wanted to ask how we got that start together, because I remember you coming into the mastermind. I didn't remember that we had a first phone call, but remember, I was working by myself, building the business from scratch by myself. I handled all the phone calls. I did all the invoices by myself, all the text, all that stuff. And then as I grew and I was able to hire people, this, that, and the other thing, we started to make more money. But here's the thing. That's what I've met so many people doing that, and so many people respected me because they're like, damn, man, do you do this all by yourself? So it's huge to see that somebody got me at the beginning, and now they see where this grows to and what happens when you start to collaborate with people. So it's beautiful to see where, where we're both at today. It's really nice. And I want Micah to close it up with a couple of more questions on your AI stuff, and then I want you to put in your link, talk to well, not your link, talk about your website, and then I know we got a little something special for the people, especially our people. So, and I'm gonna make sure we get this in the community ASAP so our people can get rocking and rolling with you. So, Micah, take it away.
Perfect. I think we hit a lot of different topics. So I think we have like three questions left.
Mm-hmm.
So, the workflow. I know you can make it really complex. Do you think it could be sometimes be too complex, or if it can't, like how complex can you make it?
Oh, well, you can make it as complex as you want to make it,
Hmm.
but the workflow AI assistant, it helps build and visualize the automation just by asking it. So there's no guesswork and
Hmm.
there's no tech expertise needed.
Hmm.
So really, it's just about how your thinking is,
Hmm.
right? As far as complexity. So when we're talking like about a triage of
Hmm.
departments of AIs,
Hmm.
if you can conceptually, once you understand how to make one, you can make several, right?
Yeah.
That in itself could be complex, but really what you did in step one was easy. So you just are just duplicating that process.
Hmm.
So you're just training the different AIs, and you're making an overall complex, or structure of AIs maybe within a business to just simplify your life. But for the visitor, it's seamless. It
Hmm.
doesn't look complex at all.
Yep. So talking about complexity, what would you just say to somebody that probably wants something a little more complex, but is wondering if it's like a monthly fee that they have to pay, or do they pay per message or call? Because if you make it too complex, the amount of money you got to pay might get, too high than someone might be willing to spend.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so there is it does connect with Chat GPT.
Hmm.
So there is some cost with like the words and stuff like that, but for the most part, that's going to be nominal,
Yep.
really. And if you need something, I guess the word, if you're wanting to use like complexity wouldn't be necessarily the right word.
Okay.
You're looking for something really like custom,
Hmm.
really something customized that's kind of maybe beyond the scope of like some simple things, administrative things, or you want to do that. Then you just call me and say, hey, I want to do this. Uh, what it would take to do that?
Hmm.
And then I would say, well, it would be like this. And if I can't, I'll get you to the professional that, because I have a circle, a team of people that I can get to. If it's more complex than I can handle, I can get you to the right person.
Okay. So is it
But
like
the
a month?
cost should be, well, cost doesn't change though.
Oh,
It
okay.
might change in your work. Yeah. What I'm charging the clients to use the service doesn't change.
Hmm.
But if you go like if you need a lot more,
Mm.
then the cost, I mean, it'll go up a little bit, but it's nominal. It
Okay.
would be just like if you needed a Chat GPT, you got to go to the next level because they have like what 1,000 tokens or something like
Yeah.
that you end up using
Yeah.
up, right? So you got to kind of bump up a little bit so you get a little bit more.
Hmm.
It's usually not ridiculous. It's usually nominal.
Hmm.
So if that's what I think that's what you're asking
Yep.
me about
Yep.
that, right? Like
Yep.
the tokens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. And is it secure and compliant?
Yes,
Okay.
it is secure and compliant. Um, it's HIPAA compliant. The whole system's HIPAA compliant as well. So if there's any like medical, if people don't know what HIPAA is, that's has to do with medical information,
Hmm.
and you're not allowed to sell or store medical information. You got to be careful about that. And the system is also, if you want to, it can be GDPR compliant as well. You just turn the switch on, and your whole system will be GDPR compliant. So it's very, very secure, and it has all the typical industry standards for securing any kind of personal information.
Yep. Is there any information or data that you recommend not putting in, or do you think everything is pretty pretty safe?
Well, because it has to be because we have the software is being used by law firms.
Hmm.
It's being used by medical places, so it has to have, and because they can also take the system and plug it into their current CRM system if they wanted to.
Hmm.
So most companies have the what's the word I'm looking for, that it's an authentication authorization. Can't the word's not coming to me,
A2P?
but it's huh
A2P?
well, it has that. Yeah, it has A2P. But it has
The CAPTCHA?
no, it has that too. That's part of it's all that stuff. No, it's just an industry word that's just not coming to me
Oh.
when it comes to security.
Hmm.
But it's just an industry standard security that all companies have to have when they're dealing with any information. So all of that is in there. I just can't think. It's just a normal like industry word, and it's not coming to my mind. But yeah, everything is secure. You don't have to worry about the information. But again, you as a person, and we in our industry, we have to be careful with people's information as well. I'm sure the score machine, same thing, right? You've got all kinds of data coming through there, and it has to have the same securities that we all have to have.
We're actually higher. We're military grade.
Oh, that is pretty high.
I paid for military grade with AWS because don't forget we have the credit report and we're about to have all the credit cards.
Oh, right.
So it's not just about that. You also have to be SOC rated too, which I'm working on, but it's like $500,000 to get SOC rated. It's SOC rated. I just personally found out about this, about the compliance level with them. What I'm looking to do with Score Machine is get a compliance officer when we hit that level, because that's what you truly need, is a compliance officer to go through and see where you're non-compliant to bring you into compliance as you keep going. Because like you said, eventually you're going to want to take the off ramp, and when you take the off ramp, you got to have all that stuff in place.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, all the text messaging and all the email stuff, that's all A2P. You have to go through a state authorization. So all that stuff is a part of is a standard that we have to follow. So
Yep.
that's something that we have to comply with.
It's good. And then last question. How quickly can I start?
You
Where
can
the
start today.
where does someone start? Where does someone start? How quickly and where?
Yeah, no, you can start is it today. I've given Ali some special codes for the community. When you're in the industry and you're talking about replacing people, while it's way cheaper to do that, that still might be a little bit more than what a lot of people who are coming in may have. So I put something special together for Ali and his community. So normally, I don't know if you want me to talk about pricing or drop pricing, but
I mean, talk about your legit pricing. So when we put it in the community and people understand what the price they're getting is, I mean, if they watch up until this point, they're gonna be like, "Damn."
yeah. So our pro basic AI.
Hold on, Eric. Please do me a favor. When you cut that, can you do the thing of Ice Cube and Chris Tucker going, "Damn"? I mean, I just saw that happening right
Yeah.
there from Friday. That was too good. Go for it, ET.
Yeah. So the I have two AI employee offers. One's a basic, one's a pro plus, or one's a pro basic, one's a pro plus. The pro basic normally is 11.49, and then the pro plus is normally 22.49. So 2,249 for the plus, 1,149 for the basic. And so I'm for his your guys' community, the basic will be $149 a month, and the plus will be $249 a month.
That
And
is
they
a
have to
90% savings to our community. We will not be dropping those links or those numbers on this call right now.
no, please don't.
Those will be only inside of the community. And how do you get inside the community? Micah will put a link into our school community in the video over here on YouTube and on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I don't even remember what we have anymore. Because that's what we're bringing to the table. That's the truth and the fact of the matter. What we're bringing to the table. Those big savings is not because of it's not because no offense, Eric Taylor does not like me that much. But he definitely likes you guys. He likes what we do in the community. He likes that there is no ambiguity and we're teaching you guys. So he wants to help create you guys into killers. So and killers in the industry come when they have the ability to have good reputation, like Eric was saying before. I was paying attention. Like you were saying before, because they're able to answer their phone, set up their calls, do what they need to be done. Go back, ET. My bad for cutting you off.
No worries. And so there is a catch. It's limited in time for now. I will be getting with Ali for the future, but you'll only have 30 days. So this coupon is good for those codes that he has. They're good for 30 days. So if you know people who want to take advantage of it, they would have to get it from Ali's community. You have to join the community in order to have access to that code. It's not being provided anywhere else because that's the regular price. Anybody that's coming to my site to get that is not getting that unless they are in the community.
What's the site? What's the site? Drop the site.
What's that?
What's the site? Let them know what the site is.
So the site is aie.levelxsolutions.com/home. So that's lvlxsolutions.com/home. That's the link. It'll take you directly to the site for that. You can demo the AI employee there. And once you've demoed it and take a look at it, that AI employee is going to get better over time because I'm doing stuff with it, but it's ready for you to just do a little test run, just check out, just see what the AI sounds like, and the conversation you can have with it. I plan on making some tweaks to it to make it industry specific for this industry with the AI there.
I was about to ask, are you going to make it industry specific for the funding and credit repair programs?
Yeah. I'm gonna make it industry so people can have fun with the different, things they can ask. Yeah. So all that stuff will be coming all month long. Keep coming back to the site to check and test the demo out to see what new prompts and new conversations that you can have with the AI. So that'll be ongoing all month long. But yeah, that coupon will be good from now to August 10th. So August 10th is the last day that this particular coupon will be live and active. So you've got plenty enough time between now and then to get your ducks in a row, try out the system. And if you need to reach me, Ali knows how to get hold of me outside of that. But there it is. That's the site. That's the info. And hope you guys enjoy it.
Awesome.
Love it.
Um,
Eric, Eric, it's been a pleasure having you on. I always love our conversations. This was supposed to be 45 minutes, just to let you know. We're pushing an hour and 40. Um, this is the kind of conversations Eric and I have all the time, and you're like that. The time just goes missing. I one time I looked at the clock. We got on the phone at 8 o'clock. It was 11:30. I was like, oh my god, I gotta go home. But good people, good conversations. Love the conversation that we have, and I know we had a bunch of Q&As that we wanted to go over. My bad to you, Micah. You know,
That's good.
I took Eric down some rabbit holes that that we weren't supposed to go down, but I loved it. That is the type of conversations that we have. So, Eric, I truly appreciate it and hope to have you back on with us again. I want to say a show, but this is not really a podcast yet. So, I mean, I think it's more and more every week becoming it. Uh, I'm enjoying the crap out of these podcasts. I'll be honest with you. I got to figure out how to make this somewhat of a living. This would be fun for me. But yeah, I would love having you around, Micah. If you have any closing statement, Eric, I'd love you to do your closing statement. And we can go from there. Close it out.
Um, yeah, no, my only closing statement really is, if you're, obviously if you're in this community, learn all that you can, take the opportunity to learn from Ali as much as possible. Create your businesses, because we're coming up on a time where more people need to be really running their own stuff and not being subjected to having to work for someone else. Because again, those are quickly fleeting. And you want to be able to, take this opportunity to learn from other business professionals that are willing to give up their time and their effort to teach you everything that you need that you utilize. And what more basic could you get than just, making sure that your main asset, which is your credit profile, is opening up the doors to where you need to go. I know he's showing me how to do that. And I'm just listening to everything that he's teaching me. And hopefully I become a score machine savant.
Oh, we got
I'm nowhere near where I want to be.
We got some updates coming, buddy. Ooh, I saw them this morning. Oh man, the AI and the AI and everything that's being built is going to be sick. So yeah, you're going to become a savant.
But I just want to say thank you, Ali, and Micah. Thank you for asking those questions and being on. So that's all I got, guys.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for coming and watching. We'll see you guys later.